Okay, and we're not. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I didn't know that was going to happen. Let me get that pillow from the chair. Good morning. Introduce us, somebody.
Good morning. This is Bipolar Sunrise, and I'm Ryan Sullivan.
I'm Garrett Nichols. Welcome this morning. We've had a hiatus for the last couple of weeks. We've had some stuff going on, just busy. Summertime's here, family, friends, work. It's been hard to get together, but we're back today. Shooting from Ryan's crib. We're gonna do a crib tour after. Show you guys what's going on with that. So we're glad to be back. It's been a while. We've missed you guys. Not really. I don't know anybody really that watches this. But anyway, so how's things going, Ryan, with you? I haven't really talked to you at all. I know you've.
Not too bad. I went in and made sure that no more babies could happen. So if you watch me fidgeting around, there's good reason.
The old snipping clip.
Yeah, I've got the old snipping clip. So, but no, not too bad. I think the medication that I'm on is working really well. I don't feel as stressed or you know, some of the extracurricular stuff that was going on. I feel like I'm, especially summer now with the sun and stuff, being able to be outside, I feel like I'm getting a much better attitude and feeling a lot more happy. Those rainy days were kind of miserable. By day 3 or 4 of it being cloudy, it's like, man, I forgot how good the sun felt until it disappeared for a few days.
Yeah, every year at this time, we have I think probably the biggest gravel race in the United States. There was 5,000 riders this year, an estimated 10,000 extra people in town this weekend.
Crazy.
And it never fails. 2019 was the last flood that we had, at least across 99. And this year we were about an inch away from the floodplain going over 99. And when it gets to this time of year, it's like every time you make a plan to go outside or you're just about to mow your lawn because it's finally gotten enough, it rains again.
Yep.
And you know that. Oh no. Let me adjust the camera. Okay. You know, I was thinking about that this morning. I got in the shower and there was a little piece of soap left. You know, I had to get out and get a bar of soap. But I was in a good mood. I knew I was going to come over here and do this. So I was like, okay, not a problem. But sometimes for me, and I think it's not just me, you know, it's like all of us. I would lose my shit sometimes. If I got in the shower and already maybe I had a couple things go wrong, or at least in my mind, they're wrong. Mm-hmm. Oh God, I would be throwing a fit, hollering at my wife, why isn't there any fucking soap in there? And I'm the only one that uses soap. You know, they use body wash and shampoo and
It's
that
your
stuff.
fault that there's no soap in there?
It's my fault, but I'm looking right off the bat to blame somebody. Man, I think things compile, and like you said, so did your doctor change medications on you, or?
Yeah, had added, increased some of them and changed the anxiety medication that I was taking, and
Okay.
I've noticed a big difference.
When you take anxiety, since you notice a difference on this, I mean, like with drugs, like it's a drug, but like if you're like a cokehead, you're doing coke, after a while, I don't know that there's necessarily a tolerance, but you're doing it and it just doesn't seem to be enough anymore. Mm-hmm. With your medications, is that the case sometimes?
No,
it's a little bit different formula than.
Because there's so much going on, like my lithium, I have to get my lithium levels drawn because my metabolism may change and so my therapeutic level that it's at, like the last time I got it tested, I was barely within range, and I'm taking the same amount.
Okay.
And so I think different stuff that happens in your body
Mhm.
probably depend on how much you've ate, how much
Sure.
have you drank a ton of water or not drank hardly any water.
Right.
It fluctuates. So I think that a lot of my meds, it's more having to build up an actual level and then maintain that level that keeps.
And you take them at the same, like a woman that takes birth control, you take them at the same exact time every day. So it would probably be in your best interest. I mean, it'd be boring, but I pretty much do this anyway. For the most part, there's obviously days where but I eat at the same time every day, so long as I can, and I pretty much eat the same exact thing every day too. And I don't know that I've noticed a difference, but I will say, because since we started doing this podcast, I'm so much more aware of some of my, I would just say, behavioral issues, mood, and because I'm paying attention to it, if I say we'll fall off the wagon as far as I'm not eating as clean or my diet changes, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, I would, in my medical opinion, it'd probably behoove you to do that too. Like, you eat the same things every day, and not only a routine, because that's a routine that you get into. Of course, then you get into, oh fuck, I didn't get a chance to eat my, fish at 2, and that may do something else. You're like, I need to eat, so now you're upset about that. And I can tell you, in my personal experience, that drives me crazy. Like, I'll be at work, and I have something, like noon is when we eat, and that's when I eat. And if I can't eat at noon, because we have to work, a job comes up, and we're like, oh, we got called out to this, and I'm looking, it's like 11:45. Guys, because I haven't eaten all day, number one, and I eat at noon.
You eat at noon, yep.
And sometimes I think, like, man, you guys should just know, like, I don't know why you even called me to this job. It's going to interfere with my lunch. That's irritating to me.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. But if your medication you're taking at the same exact time, I would say, like, if you're, or if you found a routine that works good for you, like, because I imagine that since you said, because if you eat, like, oatmeal, just for an example, it's not sugar, but it does convert to sugar. So, like, you're getting that glucose. I'm not saying you eat oatmeal, but I'm just saying if you ate oatmeal at 8 o'clock every morning, and then all of a sudden it's not till 10, or every single morning, oh, I got up at 6, but I wasn't hungry, so I didn't eat. But then when I got to work, I was hungry, so I grabbed a snack. And that would probably change things with your medicine a little bit and with your body. I mean, I know it does for me, but also I'm aware of it. I'm constantly thinking about it. I don't know. Does your doctor say stuff like that? Does he say, maybe you should eat less
Yes,
seafood, less, just less?
It's like, right, just eat less.
Don't care what's less of, just less.
I mean, they really push the water and yes, I mean, eating healthier. And that portion control's I'm down over 12 pounds now since I've been, and so trying to eat healthier, but also, even if it's healthier, not giving myself that mindset, well, it's healthy, so then I can gorge on it.
Sure.
It's eat healthy, but still have the mindset that I don't need to have 2 platefuls of this and have to have that. I've noticed now, since I'm starting to get my body trained, that I can't even finish my first plate of food, or I finish it, but if you told me to eat more, I'd be like, there's no way I could do it.
Right.
And so I think training myself on the portion control first has really helped, instead of just, because my problem is, if I want to lose weight or I diet, I am 100 miles an hour, all in. Well, then next thing you know, I'm frustrated because it's like, well, I don't know why I'm not losing weight, or what did I do, or I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And you Google, and 5 different sites tell you 5 different things. And so to me, it was like, get your portion control under lockdown first, and then start slowly adding, instead of doing what I do and jump in head first and then a month later, I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not doing it anymore because I burned myself out because I went 1,000% in.
Do you have to take any other medicine? Like, do you take cholesterol medicine or blood pressure medicine or anything like that?
No, my cholesterol was high, and so instead of putting me on pills, he's like, I can put you on pills, or you could lose some weight
Mm-hmm.
and eat healthy, and we test you again. And he's like, I bet your cholesterol goes where it needs to be. And so that's what I like about my doctor is he's the opposite of a pill pusher. It's no, let's try this naturally. Then if for some reason we'll talk about pills, but we're not even going to talk about pills. I can bet you on until you lose some weight and do this, and we see where you're at.
It irritates me when people tell me that I should go get my cholesterol checked because like I post what I eat on Facebook, and fat out of shape people would like to give me advice on, and oh, I'm just worried about you because of your cholesterol. Like, look, fat bitch, worry about yourself. You know, I'm fucking in shape and I work out all the time, but you're concerned about me? No, you just want to tell me what your doctor told you. You sound, oh, I know a little bit about, I don't know. Maybe I'm speculating, but when I was doing the carnivore diet, people would love to tell me to check my cholesterol. Look at you, you know, like I'm going to take
Right.
advice from you. No. But if I was posting pictures of me eating ice cream, or posting, oh, McDonald's was great last night. Nobody says, oh, well, go check your cholesterol.
Right.
Well, it's because I'm eating meat. Like, shut up. You know, this guy the other day, he's older, and he's like, you better go get your cholesterol checked. And he's telling me, he's like, yeah, man, I didn't have high cholesterol either. I eat healthy all the time, and I had to cut out bacon and eggs. I'm like, okay, well, you had to because your doctor told you to, but I'm not convinced that cholesterol for a person of my standing, like being that I exercise daily and that I eat the same types of food which don't include a lot of sugar and processed food, I think I'm okay. I don't think that cholesterol is the way Gary Brecka says it is like he looks at cholesterol as like the fireman. They're always at a fire, but they didn't start the fire. I'm not saying cholesterol's there to put the fire out, but I just think it shows up. Now, if you weigh 300 pounds and you have high cholesterol, then it may be a concern. Right? But if you're, you know, I'm doing everything I can to get above 215 pounds, and it's just not happening because I'm not eating. I can get above 215 pounds, but at the caloric intake that I need to be at with clean food, oh, it's so much. And it's summertime now. I think I'm gonna give up. I was trying to get to 220, and then I was gonna cut down and be really lean and ripped, but still like 210 or 205. And now it looks like I'm just gonna be a lean ripped 190 over the summer because I just can't eat the amount of food that I need to eat to do it. I'd like to, but it's like it's a pipe dream at this point. But I don't know how I got off on that, but the cholesterol thing does bother me, and it really bothers me when I'm glad that you have a doctor that will suggest like, no, we're not even going to entertain the idea of a pill.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be serious about trying this, like, because I think if some guy comes in there, he's overweight, and he's like, nah, doc, I need the pill. Give it to him. Okay, it might lower your cholesterol, but then I think too, like you're taking a pill, your liver has to work. You're having to process that, and like the more pills you take, I mean, but this is it. If you want to live a sedentary lifestyle, not do anything, and take pills, I have no problem with that. Go for it. But I don't think that's the answer.
Right.
And I think the doctor should, if they're worth their salt, suggest to you. And I think that doctors should constantly be researching too. I mean, a good one. Like, but I think there's incentive in pushing pills for some companies. For some companies come in there and they're like, hey dude, you move 500 units of Viagra, and we've got this timeshare in Hawaii, and it's going to look good on you. What do you think? Now you work closely with in the medical industry. Do you see that type of behavior, or have you dove into that at all?
Well, there's definitely laws in place so that that can't happen. Like,
there's laws in place
yeah.
that you can't murder.
It's like it's the anti-kickback law or something like that, where they will get in trouble if they. I mean, they used to be able to do all this stuff, but they can't give incentives. But I'm sure stuff like that still
I'm sure.
happen in some way.
To what degree? Or is it just a lazy doctor that's just like, I've done this my whole life and I'm going to continue to do it. I shouldn't say lazy doctor. I'm sure there's some good ones out there but it seems like a lot of them these days are pill farmers. You know, they're just like, well, here's the status quo. You've got, high cholesterol, you've been in a heart attack. Here's a statin. Here's a blood pressure pill. Here's a cholesterol pill. You know, we're going to, here, take this. And it's like, well, I don't know. I think that seems to be more often than not the case. And maybe it's the client, or what do you call them? Not the client. The patient. Maybe the patient is just, no, I want a pill.
The pill is the easy way out. So I'm sure there's a lot more people that'd be like, I'd rather take a pill than change my diet. I'd rather take a pill than exercise. I'd rather take a pill than be healthier.
That blows my mind. Oh, I mean, I'm not like everybody else, but there's a lot of people that are like me. And I think that but you can't tell people what to do. I can suggest this, I'm a doctor. And I would probably suggest, if I knew somebody that was a really good doctor, if I was a doctor myself and I was like trying to be a little bit, more holistic as it goes and trying to fix things with foods and stuff rather than just shoving pills down people, and I knew another good doctor, then I would work with that guy and be like, hey, here, I'm going to set up a deal with you. You're going to be my second opinion guy, and I'll be your second opinion guy. And so I'm going to tell people they need to diet and get off, to get off this statin or to get off of this SSRI or whatever. And then, then you send them to them, and then they send their clients to you like, hey, why don't you get a second opinion? I know a guy, and, why don't you talk to him? And then if you hear two people say it, but then do they get paid to do that? That's the other thing, what's the incentive for them to be more ethical in that sense? Maybe I'm wrong, but my ethics are just different than and I'm not right, and pills are the answer.
I think people just want an easy fix.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that sucks.
I really do. Because, like I used to be on blood pressure medication. And when I lost weight, lost a lot of weight, I didn't have to be on it anymore. So there's, and now, since I get my blood pressure checked, and they're like, nope, your top one's a little high, but I used to be like 170s, 180s over like 97.
So you're at hypertension all day and all
Yeah.
night.
And now, I average like 140, 145 over. So I mean, just in losing 12, 15 pounds, it's gone down. And again, it was, if you can't get this under control, we'll need to look at high blood pressure medication and so there's obviously, like Nate said, there's the easy way where it's like, well, God, that sucks. I don't want to have to cut out the ho-hos and the, and I could take the pill, or, you know what, I'm going to get healthy, I'm going to drop some weight, and I'm going to try to, and I think Nate's nailed it. When you start sitting there thinking, man, I can't eat that anymore, I got to cut this out, I got to walk, I got to do this, I got to be outside, or I can, just give me the pill. Man, I got to admit, when he told me my cholesterol, my mind immediately went to, well, I wonder what he's going to prescribe.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I wasn't thinking that it's going to be like, well, hey, fatty, maybe you lose 15, 20 pounds out of the gate, your cholesterol will get better. It was, well, I wonder what he's going to prescribe for me. And when he was the one that was like, you can do this naturally, lose 15, 20 pounds, we'll run your tests again, and, chances are you won't have to be on anything. It was like, oh, I never thought about having to actually, I don't know, take care of myself and have good cholesterol.
There should be some kind of routine. Maybe maybe I should do this. Maybe I should get together with somebody else, and because I'm terrible at this type of thing. But there should be something like the Overweight American's Guide to Losing Weight Successfully, because like what you just described, probably to a lot of people, is scary to think about all those things that you just listed off. Well, I've got to walk, I've got to cut out my ho-hos, I've got to do that and that. Because of posts I've seen on Facebook, people will defend their lifestyle to the death. Like, they'll say sugar's not bad. Like, well, like in what context are you suggesting that sugar isn't bad? Because from everything that I know, it's horrible. Like, in what scenario would sugar be something that is healthy?
It's healthy.
Like, I would only say this would be the only time I would think that it would never be healthy. But if you were starving, you know, like starving, like you got the ascended stomach and everything you haven't eaten in weeks.
Right.
Sugar is the glucose. It would add some fat to your body. I don't think it'd be healthy, but like it'd be better than starving to death. But in any other scenario, Nate, what do you think? When would sugar be something like, I've never heard a doctor though, but like, you know what? Have you thought about just eating Twinkies throughout the day? You know, you've had some heart problems.
Maybe eat a Twinkie.
You know, maybe get a box of Ho-Hos and see what that does. I don't think so. I've never heard that. In what scenario would sugar be something that like a medical professional or anybody would be like, you know what, it's fine. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get my nurse, get my prescription pad. I'm gonna write you a prescription for Twinkies and
Prescription to
dogs.
Dolly Madison.
Yeah, head down to the Dolly Madison store and get you a pallet, and then come see me in a month. And if you need another prescription, I will gladly write you one because you definitely need the sugar. You know. So, but what I'm saying is like a guide that would be like, okay, here's step one. Just get up in the morning and drink 8 ounces of water. The first thing that you do, you know, if you have to use the bathroom, use the bathroom. But then every morning, the first thing that you do is drink a glass of water. You know, like 8 ounces, because that's probably a habit that a lot of people do not do. I know it is. Mm-hmm. I know for a fact that there's a lot of people that don't drink water, maybe until late in the day. And I think that's probably something that's I do. I drink 32 ounces, like, but I also take some like essential amino acids and vitamins and some stuff like that. So sea salt, or not sea salt, but I consume like a pinch of salt in the morning. It's trace minerals. It's got magnesium and different things in the salt. I sweat a lot during practices, and I think that electrolytes is sugar, like Gatorade. That's terrible because it's again sugar, and that's like what's in our diet a lot. But anyway, so we've got to the 8 ounces of water, and then, you know, stretch a little bit. Bend down and touch towards your toes. You don't have to touch your toes. Put your hands over your head. You know, stretch your arms, stretch your hands, you know, like this. And because this is easy stuff. That's week 1 is just drinking water. And then week 2 is stretching. And week 3 is get up a little earlier than you normally do and walk just around the block, you know. And week 4, I mean, I know that seems like a week. You should be able to do that all in a day. That's just easy stuff. But for somebody that's been sedentary for maybe years, that would make a big change. But then how fast do you ramp that up to where people don't lose interest? And like, well, this isn't helping me. Yep. A glass of water is not doing anything, because what you really need, say that you're average around 5'8" or 5'9" as a male, maybe 5'5" as a woman, and you're 220 pounds, a female 220 or 200 even, you know, and you're 5'5", that's obese, right? And then it goes up from there. And men, same thing, you're 220, 240 at 5'8", you're getting up there in weight. What do you do as you're just an average person that kind of come home, you do what you need to do, maybe mow the yard because it needs done, but after that, it's time to kick the feet up on the coffee table and have an evening, you know, whatever it is, if it's a beer or something, because that's a lot of people drink alcohol, and or you're just time to sit down with a bologna sandwich. Ah, shit. Carry on.
Okay. Poor Garrett's on call this weekend, so he's answering his phone. But what have you, with all of this, what have you changed in your life that now you do routinely that is healthy?
Well, I walk a lot, not as much as I used to, so it's probably
You
changed.
do walk a lot. You walk a tremendous amount.
I like walking more than driving, and I did the intermittent fasting for a while, and it's a little bit more difficult now because
Tabby's cooking all the time.
yeah. and there's nothing wrong with that. I like that.
That was a big old breakfast yesterday.
Yeah, but it helps that we also, I think we only ate like one meal yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we ate the big breakfast and then we didn't eat much anything else. So
Yep.
So we still kind of intermittent fast, and yeah, I avoid most of the time like sodas and stuff like that, and I don't like sugary stuff anyway, so I don't search for eating Twinkies and Ho-Hos, even at work when there's like a big buffet of donuts and stuff like that. I just feel like it just tastes funny, so
Right.
and leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So a lot of my dietary habits keep me from eating weird stuff anyways, because I don't like texture, so I don't like cake, stuff like that. So I don't know.
That helps keep you from doing the. Everything good?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
All right, folks, we're gonna have to pick this up next Sunday. Good to see you all. I'll upload this in a little bit, and man, well,
All right,
I won't be on call next week, and
Okay.
we'll get her done.
Well, sorry you got called out, man.
Yeah.